In the world of microchips, where every single nanometer and every last milliwatt counts, there are these key companies that provide the essential building blocks for pretty much every piece of tech we use. Today, we are diving deep into one of them, a company that's a real pivotal player in the semiconductor industry, Dolphin Semiconductor.
Their mission? It's simple, but it's also incredibly ambitious, empowering a smarter world. And look, that is not just some catchy tagline. It is a genuine statement of intent that really frames everything they do, from the tiniest little wearable device all the way up to massive data centers.
All right, so how are we going to unpack the Dolphin story? Well, first we'll start with their history, which is surprisingly deep. Then we're going to dig into the huge power problem that they are solving. From there, we'll see their integrated solution in action, we'll look at how the market's reacting, and then finally we'll put it all together to understand what the future of efficient chips really looks like. So let's kick things off with our first section, a new name, decades deep. This is so important because while Dolphin Semiconductor sounds like a new company, its roots in the industry go way, way back. And that's absolutely crucial for understanding their credibility and their expertise. This timeline right here, it charts this really fascinating path. The story actually begins all the way back in 1985 with a company called Dolphin Integration. Then, after a rebrand in 2019, we get to the pivotal moment in 2024. The company's core IP division was acquired to create this new, laser-focused company, Dolphin Semiconductor. So you see, this isn't some startup, this is a veteran with a brand new mission.
And that new mission? It's backed by some serious capital. Jolt Capital, a private equity firm that really specializes in deep tech, put in 26 million euros to get this new company off the ground. Now, if you're a partner or an investor, that is a massive vote of confidence. It signals that Dolphin Semiconductor isn't just built on a legacy of expertise, it is also well-funded for some really aggressive growth.
And all of that expertise is now aimed squarely at one of the biggest challenges facing the entire tech industry today, what we're calling the insatiable demand for power. So why is this such a huge deal? I mean, really, why is every single chip designer on the planet completely obsessed with cutting down power consumption? It's because this battle is happening literally everywhere. It's happening inside the smart meters that have to run for a decade on a single battery. It's happening in the earbuds that have to get smaller and lighter and somehow last all day. Every single smart device, it doesn't matter what it is fundamentally limited by power. And this isn't just some abstract technical challenge. It is a business imperative. The market absolutely demands it. We as consumers want longer battery life. Designers, they need to create smaller, sleeker devices. And manufacturers, they want to lower costs on things like packaging and cooling. And, of course, everybody wants products that are more reliable and don't overheat. Energy efficiency is the one key that unlocks all of these things. Which brings us right to Dolphin's integrated IP solution. We've laid out the problem, now let's look at how they solve it, by taming the just incredible complexity of modern chip design. Okay, just look at this for a second. This is not a simple circuit. A modern system on chip, or an SoC, it's like a whole city of interconnected components, and every single one has its own power needs. Managing this incredibly intricate web of regulators and clocks and power domains, it is a monumental task that can absolutely sink a project if it's not handled perfectly. This is where Dolphin's real value comes into play. They provide what's called an integrated IP platform. The best way to think about these are like high-performance, pre-built Lego blocks for chip designers. So instead of having to design every single power component from scratch, which takes forever, teams can just use Dolphin's verified, ready-to-go IP blocks. It just dramatically cuts down on risk, cost, and maybe most importantly, time to market. So their platform is built around a few key families. Think of MAESTRO as the chip's brain, or maybe an intelligent traffic controller for that city, directing power to different neighborhoods only when they need it and shutting them down to save energy. Delta, that's the city's power grid, a whole library of regulations that deliver clean, stable voltage exactly where it needs to go. And then you have Gamma, which is like the city's quiet heartbeat, the ultra-low power clocks that keep time even in the deepest sleep, sipping just nanoamps of current. So, the tech sounds really impressive, right? But what does the market actually say? And that brings us to validation. This is all about the proof points, the evidence that shows their solution isn't just clever engineering, it's a proven, trusted, and bankable business. And you get a really powerful endorsement from their lead investor, Maxime Mallet of Jolt Capital. I mean, he didn't just write a check. He came out and stated unequivocally that Dolphin Semiconductor will be a leader in the growing mixed-signal semiconductor IP space. For an investor, getting that kind of third-party validation from smart money like this is a critical signal.
And you can see that leadership is spread out across a really diverse and resilient customer base. The key takeaway here is the balance. They are not dependent on a single market. With a strong presence in consumer, industrial, automotive, and HPC, they've built this diversified portfolio that helps protect them from risk if any one sector has a downturn, and that is crucial for long-term stable growth. And this isn't just abstract either. We can see exactly where their technology lives. We're talking about the chips inside your wearables and AR glasses, the infotainment systems in our cars, the asset trackers and smart meters that are really the backbone of modern industry, and even the AI accelerators in huge data centers. Their IP is a fundamental enabling technology, just about everywhere you look.
Okay, so let's bring this all together in our final section and look at the future of efficient SOCs. Because this right here, this is really the core investment thesis. If you take away just one thing, it should be this really simple but incredibly powerful formula. Decades of industry experience, plus a new, laser-sharp focus on the high-growth IP market, plus the strategic capital needed to execute that vision. This combination is what truly sets them apart. When you put it all together, Dolphin Semiconductor presents a really compelling package. You've got the proven expertise of a 30-year veteran, you have the agility of a new, focused company, you have the backing of significant strategic capital, you've got an experienced international team in France and Canada, and, most importantly, they are providing an absolutely essential technology needed to power the biggest tech trends of the next decade. And that leads us with one final critical question. We all know that AI and intelligence are being embedded into every device imaginable, moving from the cloud right to the edge. That trend is undeniable. So the only real question is, as intelligence goes everywhere, who is going to power it? Well, Dolphin Semiconductor is making a very strong case that they will be a huge part of that answer.